During the past few years, the coastal region of Brazil has been subjected to unusually extreme rain events. The water cycle, which affects the Rio de Janeiro region, has undergone changes. As a result, it is expected that these extreme storms will continue to occur in the future. According to the World Meteorological Organization, the number of reported disasters is increasing in the last few decades. Landslides and mudslides within Rio's urban hillside neighborhoods are a serious consequence of these weather events. During a few days of April 2010, heavy rainfall in Rio de Janeiro and nearby Niterói left more than 200 people dead, some 15,000 homeless. Less than a year later, in January of 2011, in a nearby city, Nova Friburgo, another extreme rain event also caused mudslides. This time, more than 900 people lost their lives. Two particularly important and vulnerable hillside communities in Rio are Chapéu Mangueira and Babilônia. The mayor's strategy for promoting the slums and integration with the formal cities and eliminate the risk situations in all of Rio's slums by 2020. Those who live in Rio already notice the quality and quantity of the interventions. People who live here, Chapéu Mangueira and Babilônia, are going to see reality change for the better, and very quickly. In the 1940s, a sign announced soon to be installed in the Leme neighborhood. That was Chapéu Mangueira, a factory that was never built, but the signs ended up lending its name to the community. That began its first decade on the 1900s and was made up of workers from Duque de Caxias, almost 30% from another state, Minas Gerais, and 98% Afro-descendants. The history of the Babilônia community began in the 19th century with the militarization of the coastal observation points of the protection for the capital of the city. Lower-ranking military personnel began building housing close to work. Then came the workers who took part in building the tunnels. For example, Túnel Novo, and especially the houses and buildings that began to appear in Leme and Copacabana. Many believe that the wonders of the rainforest that surround such noble area are like hanging gardens, inspired in the name Babilônia. Either way, Chapéu Mangueira and Babilônia are emblematic areas of our city, and the city knows it. Valorizing its history as well as its tourism for popular culture and sustainable tourism, the Morar Carioca project from the mayor is going to recover and urbanize the city, looking after the city's heritage in both communities, aiming at their integration with the formal neighborhood, and acting as a facilitator for the success of all current and future initiatives. Establishing boundaries for the environmental protection area is one of the project's targets. Bearing in mind that these boundaries are already considered by the community itself, who know the importance of recovering and preserving the environment for their own continuity. The project also includes major improvements to the existing road structure. A 3-meter wide service lane will bring mobility for the residents and solve the problems of garbage collection, material transportation, and emergency services. The service lane will allow integration from the Ari Barroso Hill and up to the pacifying unit police. The existing streets will be renovated and repaved, and new streets will be built. The main current leisure and socialization areas will be improved. providing more infrastructure and comfort. 132 residences and 16 business establishments will benefit from the new addresses for the improved safety, quality of life, and working conditions. 1,000 families will benefit from 117 new residential units. To take advantage of the plots, the architecture of the buildings follows the spatial topography of the area, which are the hillsides. A pedestrian path will delimit the environmental protection area. This will be one of the project's differential aspects, for it will guarantee beauty and easy access. Visitors and urban managers will be there to easily monitor the preservation work of the unique world heritage. At the Rio Plus 20 conference, the present results achieved in our learning curve here in Babylonia and Chapéu Mangueira, it is fact that we have to change the way we carry out these projects, but it will be the shared local practices that will allow this change. One more great challenge to design the future. In Rio de Janeiro, we will do this with the help of Babylonia and Chapéu Mangueira experience. Project cement, architecture, infrastructure, collection of water, solid waste management, use more permeable materials, removal of household endangered areas, more green area, reforestation, selective collection of garbage, renewable energy, environmental education, employment, and income. These are a few of the elements that are very important in this project. But is this enough? That's the question that the mayor is not asking himself. Is this going to be enough for the future of this neighborhood, considering climate change and the different challenges? Maureen Trudell Schwartz examines forced displacement and observed that attachment to place is real and strong for many cultures. As long as the early 70s, the American Journal of Public Health addressed the physical and mental health effects of involuntary relocation. The World Bank operational policy states that the impacts are likely to be more widespread and intergenerational, as a forced displacement dismantles the physical and cultural infrastructure for coping with illnesses and mental stress. Researching the impact of the Three Gorges Dam project in China, it states that displacement also affects depression and self-rated health indirectly by changing social integration, socioeconomic status, and community resources. The mayor focuses entirely on mitigation of the impact of the disaster and related health issues, but not on avoiding the disaster from occurring. Reforestation of the area, improving the infrastructure, are in all the measures that the mayor is putting in place are not enough. While the health risks associated with forced relocation are both real and significant, the danger of death during a mudslide induced by an extreme weather event is just as real and even more significant. There is no good solution available. However strong the neighborhood, the political opposition, the residents must be relocated. While relocation will have a negative impact on the physical and mental health of the relocated residents, there is an even greater health risk involved with allowing the neighborhood to remain intact until disaster strikes in the form of life-threatening mudslides during an extreme rain storm event.